What is happening, guys? Rules for Rebels here, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to get models and photographers to work for you for free. So first off, why does this matter? Why is this important? Well, we all know that, you know, sex sells, attractive people sell stuff, etc. So if you have a clothing brand, if you have an accessory brand, if you have a sunglass brand, we all know that most of those products are sold more on brand image than they are on the actual product. Now, if someone goes out and buys a $200 pair of Dolce & Gabbana sunglasses, are they really buying them for the sunglass feature, or are they buying them for like the image? And you know, we all know the image of, yeah, in a GQ magazine or whatever, of like the fit guy sitting by the pool with a couple ladies buying him, like really luxury environment. Like that's kind of what you're buying into when you buy those luxury brands. And if you have a clothing brand or an accessory brand or sunglasses, nobody's going to pay you $35 for your stupid t-shirt unless you can sell them on a brand image. They're not just going to go buy a $35 t-shirt, because they can go to Target and buy a super soft, nice t-shirt for $10. So you really need to sell them on your brand image or sell them on a lifestyle. You know, you're going to be part of this lifestyle if you own this brand. If you guys want to see a great example of this, there's a clothing brand called Crook County. The guy who owns the brand actually owns the place where I get my haircut at. Really cool guy. Met him maybe 2 weekends ago. Was getting my haircut, and he sat down next to me and was talking to me, you know, pretty much the whole time I was getting my haircut. And since I'm into e-commerce and have some, you know, brands and things like that, we were kind of sharing advertising tips and talking about social media and stuff like that. And it was really great to pick his brain. I learned, you know, he's got trademarks on his you know, t-shirt brand and logos and everything. But check him out on Instagram. It's Crook County. If you search Crook County, he'll pop up. They also have a website, crookcounty.com or something like that. I might be wrong about that, so just Google search it. And they actually just opened up a retail store in Lombard, Illinois. But check out his Instagram profile. I've never seen somebody with so much content. And if you look at his images, it really gives you an idea of what you want to try to do. Like, he's got some girls on, you know, some models, you know, kind of tattooed models, because that's more of the image of his brand, down on like the Venice Beach boardwalk, and they're holding a skateboard in front of them. And he's kind of selling this sort of like, I don't want to say Ed Hardy-ish, but like kind of like rock slash biker, you know, kind of lifestyle. Like a lot of the girls that he has have, you know, piercings or tattoos or whatever else. But look at the photos that he has, and you can definitely see he's trying to get across like a certain brand image. So anyhow, how I learned about this and everything was quite a few years ago. I had taken some time off of college, moved back home to Chicago, got a job with a modeling agency slash casting agency. We'd pick the movie extras for movies. I got to work on the set of The Breakup, you know, the movie with Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston. What else did we do? We did a few other movies that were filmed in Chicago. We did like some Motorola commercials, some PayPal print ads. We'd hire a lot of girls for like promotional modeling and things like that. And I actually worked in that building right down, any of you guys who are from Chicago, I worked in that building right down on Wacker and Wells, kind of right on the edge of the loop in River North, that one with the clock tower. And I think that's where the Chicago ferry or whatever it was tipped over and, you know, killed or drowned 150 people. I remember they'd always have plaques in the bottom of the building. But we had like the whole, or half of the third floor there. It was a really cool job. I was kind of like an all-around like office manager and stuff, but also if they were having like a casting call for a Motorola commercial or a PayPal print ad or Aquafina water or whatever it may be, and they didn't have enough people, sometimes it would be my job to basically walk around River North or the Loop and basically go talk to girls. Hey, do you want to be in a commercial? We're having a casting call at 7. Come on up there. So, you know, for a 21-year-old kid, you know, having a job where you're basically going around Chicago talking to girls was pretty fun. Anyhow, let's get into like what this video is actually about, which is how to get models and photographers to work for you for free. So this isn't like, you know, any of you guys who are like, why the hell would somebody work for me for free? There's a concept in the modeling slash photography world called TFP. It stands for time for prints. I think nowadays it's called TFPCD because you're not really given physical prints, you're given a CD of the photographs. But anyhow, photographers need models for their portfolio. models need photographers to take pictures of them so that they can create a portfolio, because you can't go into a professional casting call or a modeling job, you know, audition, interview, whatever, and be like, hey, here's my cell phone with some pictures of me. You're supposed to have professional photos. So it could cost models anywhere from a couple hundred to a lot of companies rip them off and charge them $1,500, $2,000, $3,000 to put together a portfolio for them. So they would have to spend a lot of money to put together a portfolio. On the flip side, photographers need models so that they can build a portfolio, and they could potentially have to go out and spend hundreds of dollars on hiring models for an hour or two of work. So they basically do an exchange. It's called time for prints. The model signs a model release and gives the photographer permission to use the photographs in his portfolio or his work, and in return, the model gets a CD full of different images, you know, maybe some images showing her looking more sophisticated, some more sexy, some in winter clothes, some in summer clothes, and basically just gives them a variety of different looks that they can add to their portfolio. And they do this for free. Now, if you doubt that this happens, or if you just want to get a better idea of what it is, go on Craigslist, go to the talent section and search TFP or TFPCD, and you'll see a lot of models looking for a TFP photographer, and you'll see a lot of photographers offering TFP photography and trying to kind of do this exchange. So where you come in is you have a clothing brand, you contact some photographers, say, hey, if I can get some models to shoot for you, could we do a couple images for me too? You contact some models on Craigslist. There's all different types of modeling sites that models can set up, you know, profiles on. I forget some of the, I'll do some Google searching. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'll do some Google searching, find a couple of the good ones, and post the links in the description below. Or you could just start hitting up girls in your local city on Instagram who seem like they're into modeling and asking them to do it. But basically, here's the situation. You have a clothing brand, you find a photographer, you find a model. It's like, look guys, okay, you guys are both going to take some shots for my clothing brand, for my website, for my Instagram, whatever. And then also, if the photographer wants to get some particular shots for his portfolio, he gets a little bit of time to do his stuff. If the model wants certain shots, she can request certain shots. And basically everybody is getting something out of the deal. The photographer is getting stuff for his portfolio, the model's getting stuff for their portfolio, and for being the broker and kind of bringing these two people together, you're getting photos of the models, you know, wearing your t-shirts or your sunglasses or whatever else. You'll also want to make sure that you get a model release signed, basically giving you permission to use those photographs as well. And you'll also want the photographer to sign something, basically releasing the images to you, or at the very least, giving you permission to use the images for commercial use. So that's basically how it goes. That's why this arrangement can work. I'll tell you guys a little bit about when I used to utilize this. So I've talked a little bit before about how I had the tailgate games. We sold cornhole games and like those barbecue grills that fit onto the back of pickup trucks. I used to drop ship those and stuff. But my main business was the beanbag toss games. There were a couple local bars that, you know, this is back when like cornhole toss was like really popular and bars were having tournaments and stuff. And one local bar reached out to me and my partner at the time and said, hey, you know, would you guys want to run our, they used to have volleyball tournaments and stuff too. Would you want to run our volleyball tournaments and cornhole tournaments? You know, the beer companies and the liquor vendors will give you guys prizes so that you're not having to come out of your pocket for that. And basically you just kind of have to like MC the event. So we did that. We sold a lot of cornhole games by doing so. They used our cornhole games for the tournaments. And after doing this for a couple weeks, we said, you know, we should hire some, you know, attractive girls to kind of MC these things and make it more fun, because it's a, you know, obviously it's a bar type atmosphere, etc. So we put up some ads on Craigslist, and we hired some girls, and we called them the Fun Bag Girls, double entendre, you know, obviously referring to boobs, and also, you know, bean bags, fun bags, etc. So we got some like little like tube tops printed up at a screen printing shop in the mall. This is long before the days of like Teespring and Printful and all that. So we went to the mall, got some like little tube tops printed up, and these girls would like MC and host the tournaments. Well, then we decided, probably somewhat for marketing and somewhat just because we wanted a reason to hang out with a bunch of girls, we decided we were going to do a calendar shoot, make like a Fun Bags Girl calendar, and it would be something that we could give out at these cornhole tournaments, or might be a prize or something like that. So we wound up putting some ads on Craigslist, and we got a few models to work with us. We got some photographers to do the shoots, but we were short of 12 girls for 12 months of the calendar. So then we kind of started getting a little bit unethical in what we were doing. So we were posting ads on Craigslist, like, want to be part of the, you know, R. Kelly shooting a video in Chicago. Do you want to be in the video? Call this number. And this is back for any of you guys like R. Kelly, man. R. Kelly hasn't been relevant in like 10 years. This is probably about 10 years ago. This is back during, you remember that song, the Ignition? This is a remix to Ignition, fresh, and whatever it was. Anyhow, this is back during those days when R. Kelly was still relevant and still cool. So we're getting like flooded with phone calls, and when girls would call up or email, we'd be like, oh, you know what, we just finished shooting the R. Kelly shoot, but we do have this other t-shirt shoot or whatever. And a lot of girls were like, fuck you, and you know, some were, you know, it's kind of a bait and switch, definitely not a very ethical thing to do, but we were young and kind of immature and stupid, but nonetheless, we got a lot of models. Later on, R. Kelly's management team actually called my partner and said, hey, quit fucking saying that, you know, I guess they're getting blown up with phone calls too. Quit saying that you're part of R. Kelly's video music production team or whatever. So anyhow, very unethical and kind of bait and switch kind of tactic there, but you really don't even need to do anything shady like that to get people to do these time for print shoots. You're basically just going to be brokering a deal, bringing together photographers with models. Ideally, you have a location to shoot in. A lot of photographers may already have a studio that you guys can use. If you have an office space, a warehouse, any kind of cool looking space, that would be a good place to shoot. You could rent out, if you want to get like a really sharp looking like loft space or something like that, you could rent an Airbnb, you know, studio, you know, if you live in a decent sized city and there's some cool places on Airbnb, you could rent like an Airbnb apartment or an Airbnb loft or condo. Probably won't cost you more than maybe $100 for a day tops. And you can do the shoot there if you want like a really cool environment. I know in Chicago there's some great Airbnbs with like really cool like lofty designs inside and like nice balconies on the outside, like overlooking the Sears Tower. So there's a lot of really cool shots that you could get for your brand if you wind up renting out an Airbnb to do the shoot. But that's basically what it is, guys. I mean, TFP, time for prints. You're basically just being a broker, brokering a deal between the models and the photographers, and in return, you're going to get images for your Shopify store, for your Instagram account, etc. One thing I'm going to leave you with, for those of you guys who are into like lifestyle brands, clothing companies, check out that Crook County t-shirts. Go check out his Instagram profile. There's a ton of content. You can probably get a ton of ideas in terms of the way that you should be marketing your brand. And if you like his stuff, he does have a store on there. But yeah, that's pretty much the video for today, guys. I know I've been kind of talking about this video for a while. I tried making it a couple times and wasn't really happy with how it turned out, so scratch those. But a couple of you guys have been asking, so wanted to get this video out there. If you have any questions about how this whole TFP thing works, or how to arrange everything, or, you know, maybe I'll try to find like a model release and some kind of like contract for the photographer to give you rights to the images, so that you guys are kind of protecting yourself and you actually own your brand images and things like that. If I can find some like template type forms, I'll link to them in the description box below. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up. Happy to answer your questions. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. If you're thinking about doing this and you have any questions, let me know. And if any of you guys wind up doing this, I'd love to see the photographs you take from the photo shoot, or I guess I should say the photographs the photographer takes. So yeah, feel free to hit me up. I'd love to see your photos. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will catch you on the next video.